Amanda Knox is a real person, not just an idea of a person. Amanda Knox is a mother, a writer, a wife, and doing the best she can with the worst that she's been given.
Amanda Knox says what she was given was more than 2 decades of being prosecuted and persecuted. She says she's here to set the record straight.
You've been quoted as saying that you're still, all these years later, fighting a wrongful conviction.
This is a universal experience for wrongly convicted people, is like once the accusation is there, it never goes away. You have to figure out how to not feel diminished and trapped by this experience and instead propelled and uplifted by it.
She was the American studying abroad in Italy, a junior from the University of Washington. But just weeks into her semester, it all fell apart.
The house she chose turned into a murder scene.
Much has been said about Amanda, and is she capable of murder?
Her British roommate, 21-year-old Meredith Kircher, found raped and brutally murdered in their apartment in Perugia, her throat slashed. Police honing in on Amanda and her boyfriend of 8 days, Raffaele Sollecito. She says she was badgered by authorities in a grueling interrogation that lasted 53 hours over 5 days, which ended with her falsely claiming under duress that she'd been at the scene as Meredith was being murdered.
I'm sleep deprived, I'm isolated, I eventually get yelled at, I am being lied to, I'm being hit. It is going on and on and on until I am led to believe by the police that I have witnessed the crime, but I don't remember it. But if I want to be a collaborator with the police, I need to remember it right now. And then hours later, I recant and I realize that it was all a big mistake, but by then, it's too late.
That mistake would haunt her for years, her fight for freedom sparking a frenzy. Amanda caught in the crush of media attention, changing her life forever. Now, the saga, an 8-part series, Grace Van Patten stepping into the role of Amanda.
I had no idea that my dream...
Hello? Anybody home?
...was about to become a nightmare.
Meredith?
Oh my God.
For the twisted tale of Amanda Knox, one of the executive producers, Amanda herself.
The American girl killed the British one.
No. No. No.
Yes, she confessed.
Her perspective shows an investigation that rushed to judgment. Her every move, like those kisses at the crime scene, dissected and often criticized. She spoke to Diane Sawyer about it years later in her first interview.
I felt very lost, very alone, and very vulnerable.
Vulnerable.
My friend had been murdered, and it could just have easily been me.
The series not shying away from those seemingly awkward, puzzling behaviors.
I don't look back on those years and those moments and cringe, because I'm a little more kind to myself than the world was. But yes, there are moments where Amanda, me, was so oblivious and so naive and just had no idea, because until the worst experience of your life happens to you, you're not ready for it. You're not prepared for it.
Now an advocate for the wrongfully convicted with the Innocence Center. Knox partnering on the series with none other than Monica Lewinsky, who produced her own story on a season of American Crime Story.
Hi, handsome.
Hey.
The former White House intern, whose affair with then-President Bill Clinton touched off a similar media circus, now helping Amanda reclaim her narrative.
Of all the people in the world who could reach out to me, knowing what it felt like to be me and who could give me guidance, absolutely that was Monica.
Who would know what it's like to be in the middle of a global media firestorm?
Right.
Amanda hopes to bust the true crime genre, blending facts with her own quirky touch.
The thing that we've accomplished with this is breaking the mold of true crime and breaking the mold of biopic and really allowing a more personal and a more creative approach, really showing that they are not just characters, they are real people, and there are consequences for how we consume stories about real people.
The tabloid's fervor splashing her story across front pages, twisting her childhood nickname, Foxy Knoxy. The prosecutor leaned into a sex orgy gone wrong theory, the media branding Amanda a killer.
Why would you confess to something you didn't do?
There is a process that police use to break you down, and one of the most fundamental pieces of that process is they lie to you. I was so young and I was speaking a foreign language and they're yelling at me like I was completely alone.
Europe's Human Rights Court later ordered Italy to pay Amanda roughly $20,000 in damages for failing to provide legal assistance and an independent interpreter.
What was it like walking onto these sets, recreating the most traumatic moments of your life?
No, I didn't. No, I didn't. Are you kidding me?
Was it triggering?
It was actually like I felt honored, because here were all these hundreds of people working to recreate these spaces so they could finally get this story right.
Amanda and Raffaele were both convicted for Meredith's murder, as well as a third man, Rudy Goudet, whose DNA was found all over the crime scene and served 13 years for the murder. Amanda spent 4 years in an Italian jail before being acquitted on appeal and set free. Her return to America playing out on live TV.
Thank you to everyone who's believed in me, who's defended me, who's supported my family.
But Knox's relief would be short-lived. In 2014, she was reconvicted, thanks to determined prosecutor Giuliano Manini. But 7 years after the murder, Italy's highest court definitively clearing her name on the murder charges in 2015. In 2022, she returned to Italy to face the man she refers to as her hunter, that same prosecutor once determined to keep her behind bars.
For me, it was really important because he had been the boogeyman my entire adult life. I wanted to really genuinely understand why he did this to me, and I wanted to see if there was any way that reconciliation was possible.
What did you get out of your meeting with the prosecutor?
I walked away with my own freedom. I finally took it back.
What did you give him?
I wanted to give him the thing that he hadn't given me, which was the benefit of the doubt.
In a 2022 interview with The Telegraph, that prosecutor said of Knox, "We have different ideas about the trial that involved us, but now I have a good opinion of her." Amanda also reuniting with her former flame and co-defendant, Raffaele, posing together at the premiere of the series.
He's doing so great now. Of course, he's had to confront his own version of this, right? Of being the guy who was accused of being Amanda's puppet and and also doing so in Italy.
Absent the family of Meredith Kircher, whose sister told The Guardian recently that she found it difficult to understand the purpose of the new show.
If you could, what would you say to them?
I would say to them that I hope they watch the show and that I hope that we can finally one day reach each other and understand each other and reconcile, because we have so much in common. And what the tragedy of what befell Meredith, had tragic implications in my life as well.
Now a married mother of 2, Amanda is still in the process of rebuilding her life and says it's her children who propel her.
I'm trying to create a world that's going to be kinder to my daughter than it was to me. And so this project is in part an attempt to do that.
For much more on this story, be sure to catch Search for the Truth, the Amanda Knox story, airing this Friday night on ABC and streaming the next day on Disney Plus and Hulu.